Hey everyone, in this video, we're diving deep into XILONEN'S full kit and abilities. If you want to know how she plays and what makes her a must-pull Geo DPS, stick around. First, Normal Attack, Ehecatl's Roar. XILONEN'S Normal Attack consists of up to 3 rapid strikes. Her charged attack consumes stamina for a powerful forward kick. When she performs a plunging attack, XILONEN dives from mid-air to strike the ground, dealing AoE damage based on her defense. When in the Nightsoul's Blessing state, XILONEN enters Blade Roller mode. In this mode, her normal attacks switch to a series of 4 kicks using her roller blades, and her charged attack becomes unavailable. Both her normal and plunging attacks are based on her defense and deal Geo DMG that cannot be overridden. Here is the damage list of her normal attach damage. You can pause the video to check it out. Now, elemental skill, Yohual Scratch. XILONEN switches to high-speed combat mode, dashing forward and dealing Geo DMG based on her defense. This skill grants 45 Nightsoul points and activates the Nightsoul's Blessing state, shifting XILONEN into Blade Roller mode. Source samples. XILONEN has 3 samplers with her that can generate different soundscapes based on the elemental types of her party members, decreasing nearby opponents' corresponding elemental resistances when activated. The initial source sample within each sampler will be Geo, and for each party member who is Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro, 1 Geo sampler will change to that corresponding element. When XILONEN is in the Nightsoul's Blessing state, the Geo source sample she carries will remain active throughout. After unlocking her passive talent, Ehecatl Echoes, XILONEN can trigger this talent to regenerate Nightsoul points for herself. Once her Nightsoul points reach the maximum, she will consume all her Nightsoul points and activate the 3 source samples she has on hand for 15 seconds. When the source samples are active, they will decrease nearby opponents' corresponding elemental resistances. Source sample effects of the same elemental type cannot stack. XILONEN can trigger these effects even when off-field. Nightsoul's Blessing, XILONEN, continuously consume Nightsoul points. When these points deplete, or if used again, this Nightsoul's Blessing state will end. This state has the following traits. 1. Switches to the Blade Roller mode, increasing XILONEN's movement SPD and climbing speed, and she can perform high-speed leaps in Ocelot form while climbing. 2. XILONEN'S Nightsoul's Blessing has the following restrictions when in this state. XILONEN'S Nightsoul points have a 9's time limit. After you exceed this limit, her Nightsoul points will immediately deplete. After XILONEN'S Nightsoul points have depleted while she is in the Nightsoul's Blessing state, she will no longer be able to generate Nightsoul points via the passive talent Ehecatl Echoes. Here is the damage list of her elemental skill damage. You can pause the video to check it out. Elemental Burst. Ocelot Point activates the Phlogiston Stereo Mixer Portable Edition at full power, dealing Nightsoul-aligned AoE Geo damage based on XILONEN'S defense. Additionally, she will trigger the following effects based on her different source samples. 1. If she has at least 2 source samples that have undergone elemental conversion, XILONEN will play in a buoyant rhythm, healing nearby active characters at intervals based on her defense. 2. If she has less than 2 source samples that have undergone elemental conversion, XILONEN will start up an Ardent Rhythm, which will play 2 additional beats that deal Nightsoul-aligned AoE Geo damage based on her defense. Pause the video to check out her Elemental Burst damage. XILONEN'S Talent, Talent 1, Ehecatl Echoes. While in the Nightsoul's Blessing state, XILONEN'S Normal and Plunging Attacks gain the following buffs based on her current source sample types. Should she have at least 2 source samples that have undergone elemental conversion, gain 35 Nightsoul points upon hitting an opponent. Can be triggered once every 0.1s. Should she have less than 2 source samples that have undergone elemental conversion, damage dealt is increased by 30%. Talent 2. Portable Armored Sheath. While in the Nightsoul's Blessing state, when XILONEN'S Nightsoul points reach maximum, she will trigger an effect equal to that of her Nightsoul Burst. This effect can be triggered once every 14ths. Additionally, when nearby party members trigger a Nightsoul Burst, XILONEN'S defense is increased by 20% for 15ths. Talent 3. Night Realm's Gift, Blessing of Forge Fire. After her Nightsoul points are depleted, XILONEN will switch to consuming Phlogiston to maintain her Nightsoul's Blessing. While in an area with Phlogiston mechanics within natlan, she can use Nightsoul Transmission. When the active character is currently sprinting, climbing in a movement mode caused by certain talents, or at a certain height in the air, the following will trigger when switching to XILONEN. XILONEN will enter the Nightsoul's blessing state and gain 20 Nightsoul points. In this situation, XILONEN'S Nightsoul points have a forced time limit, after which her Nightsoul points will be immediately depleted. After she uses Yohual Scratch within this time limit, her Nightsoul point time limit will be extended by 9s. Nightsoul transmission can be triggered once every 10s by your own team. Additionally, while in natlan, XILONEN will not consume stamina when climbing while in the Nightsoul's blessing state. Constellation C1. Sabbatical phrase. XILONEN'S Nightsoul point and phlogiston consumption in her Nightsoul's blessing state is decreased by 30%, and her Nightsoul point time limit is extended by 45%. Additionally, when XILONEN'S source samples are active, she can also increase nearby active characters' interruption resistance. C2. Chiuq mix. When XILONEN'S source samples are active, all nearby party members will gain effects corresponding to the active source sample that matches their elemental type. A Geo, crit rate plus 30%. Pyro, attack plus 40%. Hydro, max HP plus 40%. Cryo, crit damage plus 50%. Electro, restore 20 energy. Elemental burst CD, decreased by 5s. C3. Tonalp Wally's loop, increases the level of Yohual Scratch by 3. Maximum upgrade level is 15. C4. Suchatl's Trance. After XILONEN uses Yohual Scratch, she will grant all nearby party members the Blooming Blessing effect for 15ths. Characters with Blooming Blessing deal increased normal, charged, and plunging attack damage based on 65% of XILONEN'S defense. This effect will be cancelled after triggering 6 times or when the duration ends. When you hit more than one opponent, trigger counts will be consumed based on the number of opponents hit. The counts for each party member with Blooming Blessing are counted independently. C5. Ehecatl Crossfade increases the level of Ocelotliq point by 3. Maximum upgrade level is 15. C6. Imperishable Night Carnival. When XILONEN is in the Nightsoul's blessing state, when she sprints, leaps, or uses normal or plunging attacks, she will gain Imperishable Night's blessing, ignoring the limitations of her Nightsoul's blessing state and increasing the damage dealt by her normal and plunging attacks for 5s. During this time, her Nightsoul's blessing time limit countdown will be paused. XILONEN'S Nightsoul points, phlogiston, and stamina will not decrease, and when her Nightsoul points reach maximum, her Nightsoul's blessing state will not end either. Additionally, XILONEN will deal 300% of her defense as increased normal and plunging attack damage while in the Nightsoul's blessing state. She can gain 1 Imperishable Knight's blessing once every 15ths. That's XILONEN in a nutshell. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.